A couple of years ago, we saw the UNOBTANIUM from Crazy Tube Circuits. It was a Klon on one side with two different modes, buffer, true bypass, blah, blah, blah. And then on the other side, it was two Dumbles in one, voicings of two Dumbles in one pedal. So one Klon, technically two Klons, and two Dumbles. Now, ladies and people, we have the UNOBTANIUM Raw. What is up, YouTube? My name is Buddy Blues, and behold, the UNOBTANIUM Raw just came out. It's a little bit different. It's not wildly different from the old one. It's a little bit different than the old one with a few improvements according to whoever plays them, meaning it's an opinion thing. And I like when companies do that. A lot of times they go with a version 2 that it eliminates something from the version 1, if you will, that you may have liked. There's a lot of people that like the version 2 of the full tone OCD, for example. And then they kept improving things, and like a lot of people keep going back to, first of all, this is staying in production, number 1. Number 2, what they did here is a taste thing. It's a flavor thing. Here's the main change of the UNOBTANIUM Raw. It's mostly on the Klon side. I say mostly because there's a little bit changed over here too. The Klon now has a stock feature, which is going to be like your stock Klon, and OC45 right here, this switch that says OC45. That's going to be true germanium in the clipping section, which is identical to a Klon. So the stock is going to be identical to a Klon. This one's going to be, it's got those real germanium things. That's controversial. You may like it, you may not, blah, blah, blah. What that does to my ears is it adds a ton of gain, a good type of gain, and it adds a ton of sustain. Notes just tend to last so much longer on that setting. It's also more rock and roll. Speaking of which, rock and roll, speaking of which, on the Dumble side, the other one was more of a jazz blues type thing, very smooth Dumble. Both Dumbles had that same type of characteristic. Here they went on the more pushy side, more in your face, more rock and roll. You've got ODS and you've got SSS. So ODS is going to be your overdrive special tones, think thick Santana type tones, really thick tones, Robin Ford, blah, blah, blah. And SSS is going to be your classic clean, classic Dumble clean. Think John Mayer, think SRV, think Eric Johnson, stuff like that. Both in one. Okay, on the Dumble side, it's going to be the same as the last one. Volume, gain. I do encourage you to watch the last video, by the way. Volume, gain, emphasis, tone. Volume and gain, we know what they do. Tone, we know what they do. Emphasis is going to be on the mids. It's going to be a little like an EQ shift of the mids, a little bit on the presence side, like upper high mids, I would say. Like we said, ODS, SSS, Klon still has the buffer or true bypass setting if you want to do buffer and all of that. Volume, gain, treble, or tone, whatever, just like the original. And again, just like the original, we've got a effects loop built into the pedal. What else does it have, Buddy Blues? Because you've been talking a lot. You know what? I wasn't the one who decided to put all these features in this pedal. Okay, it was them. It was the Greeks. It's almost always the Greeks. On the side, we have a button that says a foot switch that says XD, which you may attach a foot switchable thingy, like a remote foot switch, to change between the Dumbles. You heard it in the beginning with the brand new Gibson Murphy Lab 1960 Les Paul, blah, blah, blah. I have a whole video coming out on that. It's gonna be unpleasant for Gibson, but very happy for me. It's fine. Everybody will be fine. And then now let's play it with some HSS. So we can keep the humbucker flavor, get some single tone actions. I'm going to do the LSL Saticoy red one. Silktone Aux box, let's get to it. Oh! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have now heard the Unobtainium Raw. I don't know if it's Unobtainium V2 because I don't know if it's more of like an addition to the original one. Meaning, if you bought the original one, you're gonna really like this because they're a little bit different. They're not that different. It's still the same. It's still Klon and 2 Dumbles. The Klon has a little bit of a different flavor on this setting. So, and the Dumbles have a little bit of a different setting as well. Flavor, I mean. So we're in the same ballpark. If you like this one, you're gonna like this one as well. I think of it as an addition rather than a version 2 or a replacement. It's an addition. The other one is, I said it in the first video, I'll say it again, is still great. It's amazing. It's a very smart pedal. The second one, same. It's very smart. It's so usable. Humbuckers, single coils, whatever you want. Okay. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. A huge thank you to Crazy Tube Circuits for including me yet again in one of their releases. I love these guys. I got to meet them in NAMM, and they're just happy people. They're happy to be all Greeks, really. They're just happy to be alive. They're happy to be there. They're happy to be wherever they are, and they're very nice people. They're very encouraging too. They're the type of people that build you up, and I like that. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't enjoy this video, share it on Facebook in like a private group with your group chat and like with your like private friends, and then have them make fun of me and then take a screenshot of that and send it to me privately. I have been Buddy Blues. You have been the people of the blues. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, this is cool and it's not that unobtainable. The Gibson Murphy Lab is very, that's why I played it. Stop talking.